He's like, a calming force. He came in and did some rehearsals. We did a little pre-production or whatever you want to call it. And then for like a week, and then we went up to the studio and set up and started recording. And he's really talented at getting the great sounds and, just kind of massaging what we did into something that maybe sounded better or came across a little bit more, just a little bit more confident sounding,
About the reverb questions, I know that's been going on for a long time. I think in this press stuff here, like he even describes like reverb as the sixth member of the band or something like that.
Right.
What's the appeal of these like great big huge kind of echoing sounds? What is that?
What's the appeal of it?
Yeah, what does that do for you guys? Because I know it sounds cool. I'm wondering where it comes from.
It's just always been a part of the way Jim writes. He likes to write using reverb.
Okay.
Obviously talk to him, you could get a more clear picture of what reverb does. But I think for this record we tried to manipulate it a little more and use it a little more sparingly. So when the times that we were using it, it was a little more special.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just always there. It's kind of it is sort of a sixth member, but at the same time, we're definitely trying to change that in a way. To use it more creatively and not just put it on everything just because.
Right.
Because it's already on and nobody feels like turning it off. It's like
right, not just constantly on there.
I think it's just like having a record that's too many loud songs or whatever in a row. To maybe you want to have some variety and use everything that on your palette, then with some restraint and attention to variety. So
right, and since you say that, it seems like that could describe the songwriting on this record, where it goes like back and forth from a really mellow thing to a like a rock song to, I think like one even almost sounds like a reggae song to all this different stuff. Is that is that an intentional thing to try to get the album to be almost like a sampling of all the different stuff you could do, or is there a rhyme or reason to it? Or
man, it's so weird. It's like when you ask me that, I don't really. I never thought of it that way.
Okay. Well, then I don't want to put words in your mouth then.
I think we, we worked up a bunch of different songs. We worked up a bunch of songs that didn't make it on the album too. So maybe, just in sequencing the record and trimming off the songs that we didn't think really fit, we ended up with this kind of batch of songs that somehow fits together. But yeah, inside the record there is a lot of variety. But maybe that is the cohesiveness, that there's lots of variety. I don't know.
Okay.
But
so are you still out in LA then? Are you going to end up moving to Kentucky with the band, or do you?
I actually moved to Tennessee.
Okay.
Last November, so almost a year ago.
And I know you grew up in that part of the country. Like, what's the music like in Louisville? Because I've never been down there myself.
In Louisville?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not real keen into the Louisville music scene, honestly.
Okay.
I grew up in Indiana and did my music stuff when I was in college in Bloomington, and then I moved to California, and now I live in Nashville. Nashville's a real weird kind of mixture of everything. There's lots of rock and roll music happening there. It's not all contemporary country and Christian music.
Yeah.
The thing I like about Nashville is that you can walk into basically any bar and see. Like I walked into a bar one night and saw Garth Hudson from the band playing.
Okay.
And there were 30 people there.
Wow.
So it's like everybody's a musician.
Yeah,
basically, and everybody who's watching you is a musician. The only thing that's sad is there's not that many people that go. There's so many shows that there's way more shows than there are people to attend them.
Right.
But I like it a lot there. It suits me for sure.
And is there any way of, you know, connecting the part of the country to how it shows up in the songs? Like, I know some bands sound very, like, geographical, like this is, like, Southern rock or something like that, and others sound absolutely nothing like where they come from or whatever. Does that apply to My Morning Jacket or not?
Like, where we come from? I think if we do, it's just, you know, it's nothing intentional. Like, you know, I guess that's the theme of this interview. It's like, you know, that all that stuff kind of happens naturally if you're in an environment and, you know, you may or may not be affected by it. I think, I don't know how Louisvillian this record sounds or Southern it sounds.
Okay.
I mean, I really like country music a lot, you know, but, so if anything comes out in my playing, that's probably because I was playing along to, you know, a Birds record or something.
Right.
The week before I went to the studio, but I didn't go, I'm going to put this Clarence White lick in this song, you know, okay. It just happens.
Right.
But, you know, I think everybody's proud of where we live and where we're from and stuff, so if that comes out, we don't necessarily think that's a bad thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And how about your current tour now, which will take you through Boulder in a couple of weeks? How's that going? And
good. The first show was last night.
Okay.
In Atlanta. And it was good. It's Kathleen Edwards is opening for us with her band. She's awesome. I'm not sure if she's going to be there for the Boulder. Is she in it open for us?
Yeah, actually, that was part of what I was going to ask you. Is it looks like Saul Williams is going to open for you here in Boulder, and that was an interesting combination. So I was going to ask you, like, whether he was on the whole tour or how you.
No, he's just doing the second half.
Okay.
For whatever reason. So you know what? I'm not even very familiar with his record.
Okay.
I think Jim kind of handpicked him for the second half of the tour.
And how about kind of the future? And you know, I know you just put out this album, but do you have more recordings planned, or what else is the band going to be up to?
Well, I think we're all excited to, you know, make another record at some point, but you know, we're really basically our entire focus right now is working on the live show.
Okay.
You know, now that the record's out, we can stop worrying about it.
Yeah.
And you know, it's basically taken 8 months from start to finish for it to get out. So now that that's out, we just kind of stop thinking about it and just start worrying about the live show. And once we get through what we think is an appropriate amount of touring and in the United States and Europe or whatever, then we'll, you know, hopefully start thinking about a record.
Okay.
But, you know, we're so inundated right now.
Yeah.
That we can't even really go there.
Does the live show serve a different purpose than the studio thing, or do you try to play, you know, consistently to what's on the record, or do you try to, like, kind of open it up for live, or how do you approach it?
Yeah, it's pretty, I don't know, it just depends. The songs kind of evolve. Right now, we're playing a lot of the new record and just kind of seeing what happens. I think some of the songs will change over time, and some of the older songs we're probably going to change a little bit and keep playing them. But right now we're just trying to figure out what songs to play other than the new record and how to make it all make sense and make everybody happy.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of songs to choose from.
Question.
And not to kill ourselves and play for too long, but
all right.
So that's fun. That's a relief. I mean, now that the record's out.